waiting for Guild to, achieve their potential, the expectations initially. Like I said, this has been the conversation for the last 4 or 5 months now, is when are we going to see Guild trend upwards? And I'll be honest, they keep trending upwards. They're going from strength to strength. So this here, again, the big concern for me is backs against the wall, under pressure. What do we see Guild do? Do they play with the confidence once again?
I'm seeing Leo being invested into, so he's got the light, he's got a lot of utility there, frenzy as well. Okay, it's a bit of an investment on him. And it looks like there's already contact on the site. You can see the owl drone on the minimap going forward with, it looks like Cypher and potentially, I'm not sure who it was. There we go, lovely stuff. Right, Toronto and Turco. Waiting on the other side, catching from short. That's going to always be a little bit of an issue if you do go through one avenue of approach, and they're holding from the other. It is going to be just a slaughter. So Oxygen get off to the start that they wanted by getting that first pistol in the pocket.
Yeah, really comfortably managed as well. Some pretty basic utility. All really on the back of 2 players there. Not even really waiting out for the rotation. There wasn't even enough time there. You hear the slow just catching everybody inside, making it really difficult for anyone on Guild to really come out and, I guess, full swing to find that trade. Oxygen will pick up the pistol. Once again, Guild going to lean heavily over towards A. We're not just going to try and run straight through here. Maybe just try and rush. Mita's already got a couple of stars set up. Guild will retrieve the orb and float back towards mid.
Let's see what the small conditions of success are here for Guild, considering they are coming back in with, once again, some bits and pieces, but it's not much to write home about. Classics, a touch of armor for Leo, but this is minimal amounts. And of course, on the other side, Spectres galore, Toronto taking his time, still on the Ghost, perfectly fine for the economy, don't mind it. So we look at what they can get out of this, getting guns away, forcing maybe a less than ideal repurchase, but it's mostly on the back of Leo here. He's going to try and maybe pinch through mid, but already you can see the issues mounting and the information clearly being received. As look at the amount of attention drawn towards middle. Oh, ooh, banger. Let's go, Leo.
You actually got the better meters there in mid, and first blood could actually be a big factor here. Leo still scrapping it out, and you see Natty on the back of that trying
30 seconds left.
Thread the needle, so to say, and get his way onto A site, but now 20 seconds. Go on.
I'm seeing short open. I'm seeing a couple of things where if they can, Leo's already going to maybe look towards this. If he could find a way through, because if they're just trying to make this costly, there's still a potential. Luckily for them, I guess, Toronto and Turco have just kept them at arm's length, so no actual damage was found, but I like that they were pulling rotations. I see what Guild were trying. It didn't really work out. They got, I think the kill on Mites, and that's it. But still, you can see the intention, right?
Yeah, it's the timing of that. Like I say, you've seen stomps all the way back over towards A main, but it's on the back of taking contact in mid. They said short became open, and actually the double stack on site was, I guess, pretty difficult to read if you're Guild in that scenario. Especially with the time constraints towards the end of that round, but Onka on a Bulldog, everybody else on a full buy here for Guild, obviously. 4 Spectres actually the operator on the side of Oxygen, so going to try and ride this out. Expect Toronto to try and work a pick here and
risky.
Make this equipment worthwhile for them in this round.
He does seem to have a huge upswing when he does get that operator out. We were talking about this in previous, especially against Durka, as like a comparable, I guess, opping style, and obviously Dirk is a little bit more of a hybrid, whereas he's more of that purist role. So maybe this is good for Toronto to get towards that early. He will have his ult potentially coming around pretty soon too. But beyond that, patient beginning from Guild, a decent default across the map, keeping attention drawn wherever. You do see that little bit of a push up from Yassine towards middle, holding good ground. Maybe waiting for their sound cue or two and see if he can exploit a rotation here.
Yeah, Zisto actually going to safe, and that was... Remember a Guild that was over here just trying to keep tabs on what's going on A. You're seeing actually creep towards market, but you can see Toronto set up just inside, and he's got glove there in support to just counter peek. But
left.
little bit of a fake being sold here, and it looks like Oxygen might be biting on this. Turco's rotated over.
Mites is a problem here because he's gonna, well, I mean, it's Leo up against him, but basically Zistao will get a pinch coming in, but Mites does have his back, so Leo doesn't get away with it. There's the issue that I was talking about. Mites, because they didn't have the 2v1 to clear out on long, because they lost out on the player earlier on, they couldn't have won. I think it was Safe maybe who went down, I'm not 100% sure, but that just took away the numbers for that 3-2 split towards A, leaving them a little vulnerable, and Toronto going to be losing that op potentially. Yeah, Draken can grab that and, hey, stick on that one, see if you can keep it going forward. Round's done, but that's decent damage, at least done money-wise. He doesn't have his ult up yet. That's pretty costly.
It is, yeah, so especially, I mean, it's way more difficult as defenders to really get hold of either of the orbs on Ascent in particular. Going to rely on, well, actually, yeah, it looks like Turco is going to purchase an operator for Toronto, so going to drop that over, spread the wealth a little bit. Like I say, again, the Ascent's one of those ones that on defense it's difficult to really comfortably secure one of the orbs, so you don't often see teams on defense at least making a play for it. This dude got to be careful how far he creeps there, but Draken just exposing himself a little too far.
That's the op gone. Can fall into the hands of Leo. That gets taken out. Look at these kills coming in. It's so easy, lining them up. And this is very clean from Oxygen, keep in mind.
Yeah.
As much as, yes, they've had issues with that operator, it's already been dealt with. It's already done. That's fine. Yeah, Bonker's got it back in hand, but he's going to have to pull off some sort of magic here. This is a very good beginning for Oxygen. You want to see them kind of get that solidity coming in. And Turco's been absolutely critical. I'd like to lean into that further down the line once we get past the pistols, the forces, the kind of, you know, bonus rounds, but we are still with Safe and Bonker looking for maybe any potential pickups here, any threats to be found. Still plenty of time because it was such an early pickup at the start.
Enemy remaining.
And
Spike down.
finally, Bonker tries to swing through. Safe here, we'll get a consolation kill.
Lovely.
And Turco nonetheless, again, much really for Guild to recover there with what they had. Bonker needed to really get a pick there, but he was well controlled in A main, and Oxygen playing disciplined enough to not really give it away. But here, look, as soon as the first comes through, just able to pick the second up with some spam. I mean, at that point, it's difficult for Guild to really recover. This is the interesting thing here is the Guild, they tend to get stuck into a rut, if that makes sense. It's a rinse and repeat situation with Guild, and that's when the cracks start to show. There's no real versatility to the playbook. They don't mix things up. It's rare you ever see kind of Guild really able to play from behind comfortably, because you know they're not able to dig themselves out.
Yeah, the mid-round calls are certainly a problem. It doesn't help that Yassine, who's generally their very good entry fraggers, having a bit of a slower start. And Turco has been unbelievable on the other side. Toronto there trying to have a little peek towards middle, but the wall's there. And it's going to be Turco to win out. This guy is having a day, and what a day to be having it, with a matter of survival on the line. Taking down Yassine takes away one of the big heavy hitters and gives Oxygen a huge step in the right direction.
Leo has the res, but very difficult to get that res off in Pizza. You have to wait for maybe Guild to draw a couple of players away from this, because Toronto and Turco are just posted here, anticipating that very move. So 3 players of Guild will flow over towards B main. Now, if they can backstab Toronto, potentially Turco is going to be distracted enough for them to get this revive off.
See what the timing's like on this. Safe is obviously having to respect the utility, and there it is. You can already see that clock ticking away. Toronto's super aware of it, finds the timing. Leo does find the trade out though. There's that res that you highlighted. Yassine's back up in middle, but there is still a problem at the back of site. Mites has got the cross, but they make it through. And now it's on Toronto. 9 seconds. He's just having to hold the line. It's all he's got to do. By the time Mites has his back, they might have done enough here. Safe has to get the spike. He can no longer do this. Time has run away from them, and Oxygen once again stand tall. This is already an excellent start, and I love the timing awareness from them as well, keeping control of the right pieces. Turco's having a great series already. Zistao is being solid. Toronto is there on the op. This is all looking good.
10 seconds left.
I was just looking back at that there, and it's the timing of Toronto drifting away from holding the angle. Like I said,
Yep.
Literally, they read the situation perfectly. They were anticipating the res coming out from Guild, and Guild played it perfectly. Like I said, they needed to distract Turco and Toronto, break that hold on Market. They did just that. Luckily, I mean, they're able to find the kill onto Turco and get that revive off. But then Toronto's able to tuck him backside and just run the clock down. It becomes a really pressured execute from Guild once again.
Okay, they're doing the old, keep it simple, stupid. Straight in towards the side, decent utility work, but Zistow's been nasty with this so far. Don't forget, he was able to get away with this. There's the utility to try and dissuade this position. Lovely combination. Still able to make the frag. Still in good position, holding this. Safe, however, is answered back, so finally they get towards the site. Spike is in hand, and they're working with less. Safe is one of the only players with the rifle right now for Guild. Spike Plant comes in, and, well, Oxygen, first time we're going to see an actual retake for them.
Yes. Tricky as well, because Draken and Bonkar can't really retrieve those rifles. Bonkar having to plant the spike here, so kind of lies on Safe to really make something of the situation. Turco actually going to get the res off.
Huge commitment. And they're against a Sheriff in a Frenzy. Now, there is an ultimate online. Keep that in the back of your mind here as well. That is still in play. Safe still alive. He's got 3. He needs 4. He's going to get 4. Safe is being the danger man. He will not rule in. Ace, but there's still more required. As now the defuse begins, this should be shut down. It is. Finally, Guild get onto this, and Safe being the only man that they really needed at the end.
Yeah, I mean, we called it. He was the one with the weapon. He had to make something happen in that post plan. And actually, no discredit to the other two. They took enough contact. Bonkar basically making it as difficult as possible for Oxygen to swing onto Safe, and then they're able to find these kills. Closing the last out with the classic running out of bullets, and lines up perfectly for Draken with the Hunter's Fury in main. Really, really well played by Guild.
Hold on. We have a James Bond, because Yassine's a chill guy, all right? He's a chill guy. We love a James Bond. But we have to also highlight the fact that one of the key components of what we said when it came to Guild, my players to watch, is having a quiet game. And it's that double-edged sword, right? You play aggressive sometimes. I don't actually think this has been uncharacteristically aggressive either. I actually don't even think that's a key point here. It's more that Yassine simply has just not been winning out on the entries, and I still think it's one of the hardest jobs in the world. It's why I don't really care if they have, technically poor stats. Sometimes that opening kill, the success that they can find, is so critical, because obviously you can read the rotations off the back. I don't need to tell you the basics of FPS 101, but if he's having a rough game, this is going to be brutal for him, and he might be that confidence player you need to start waking up a bit here. Let's see if he finds out this round. Already working up through kind of Cat towards Short. He does have Zisto on the other side, playing towards kind of, back of Short, kind of playing a little passive around the smokes. Nothing too attentive in this, and actually Oxygen sitting pretty deep from the site. They've actually given up the site here, but no way. Is he going to get the timing on that? Okay, that's fine. The wall's there.
I was going to say, they've already got the extra body over. Toronto hit that rotation very early, and important thing here is Zistu has left his spy cam for the retake. Now, he hasn't shown where that's revealed, and now he's going to pump out. There you go, going to get the first tag through. Probably from Oxygen able to peek onto that information, though. Oh no, the showstopper. It's going to mask the sound. Yassine's got so close already.
This is scary. Just that gap away. He's got a couple more seconds to play with. This player's on the other side. He sends it. He gets one for it, but Draken found another. And now this retake looks like it's falling by the wayside, but with Turco still alive, there's always still a chance. Safe says no from down below on towards the site. The trade for Toronto is effective, but now look at the numbers. Just so heavily in favor, as there it is. Locked down in the end between Leo and Yassine, and that's exactly what Guild need to stabilize.
Actually, the Cosmic Divide, I'm not sure who's. It's always difficult.
It's hard to tell,
the one in heaven, just behind the, obviously the entrance here, you see how far they have to push back to respect this. And again, with the sound cue being masked, Yassine's able to play so close onto this, and the last second throws it through, finds that kill, but again, that burns up like 5 to 7 seconds where Oxygen, they have to just sit back.
Checking the situation right there.
Okay, they've broken the economy too, which is a pretty decent way to build a couple more rounds here. Maybe bring back a little bit more of this half. Actually, I like the stack towards Short. I think that's a really nice idea. Kind of 3 players dedicated, posted on it. Exactly. And then Zistow, they can show Zistow. He's been here the whole time, so it doesn't necessarily give away that there's any more players dedicated towards this site. If anything, it might encourage them to try and hit this.
Turco meters actually. Okay, Leo gonna get dropped before they even get in the entrance.
Oh no.
They're gonna get
They have
caught
no
up
information
again
of the back.
here
Guild
inside the
have
slow
no
as
idea.
well.
Guild have left mid completely open. They've got the camera, but no way. No, not like this. Draken and safe now.
Standing ahead.
Starting to sweat under the pressure. And yeah, they've backed. They have backed the hell away from this. Now, there can be a quick response, though, but what do? Oxygen is still at the disadvantage here. Now, Draken is low HP, but Safe is still sitting well enough alone.
So Draken backing all the way away from A main here. Don't allow Glove and Toronto to retrieve some weapons, so it's not necessarily
30 seconds left.
worst scenario, really, that they're going to get this plant off again. Going to eat up a lot of time to make their way all the way over to A. Sorry, towards B from A. Like you see here, we'll retrieve a Vandal, a Phantom from main. At this point, I mean, even if they can't win out the round here with the investment, as long as everybody on Guild dies, it's a big win for Oxygen.
Yeah, I'm looking at if they can lock down Draken. Safe has to stay towards Spike anyway. He can't leave the site, really. He might have to just go down with the ship. Now, Draken, though, would be hard to clear, and they're actually committing pretty heavily towards this. No HP on Glove. He's offering himself up for the trade, and Draken has no idea. He's now going to work out what they were trying to do here. He's already... What? The turn... What? There's surely not enough time left, but that was a shot and a half. Oxygen are on today, but Guild get the round after a very, very dangerous moment there.
Yeah, it was. It came down to, honestly, I was looking at Turco and Mitez to be the two with that crossfire. Again,
One enemy remaining.
this is a fantastic shot. That first onto Draken was dirty. But yeah, it's actually Toronto that finds the first blood over on A there, and things pretty much fell apart. Guild were happy to sit there, and I guess until they saw the third player showing presence, that they were like, yeah, okay, it's a stack. Let's run like hell towards B side.
But now the economy, it's not stable, but it's got them a decent purchase coming back into this for Oxygen. We'll see how this looks on the other side. Now, this looks, of course, like a fake. We can see that now. We have to see what Oxygen can try and extrapolate from this. There's been a lot of presence towards A. We've seen a couple of hits there, but also in these buy rounds, we've seen a lot of tension towards mid. We've seen that kind of walk up from Yassine, that walk up from Leo. And it looks like Oxygen have responded to that by putting two of their own players, and even the Sova leaning towards Connector as well, and leaving that kind of B main entrance a little bit more open, but having the utility in place to not have to worry too much about it.
This wall has bought them a lot of time to rotate away, and it's actually a double stacking pizza here from Toronto and Glove. So B site wide open for the taking right now. Okay. Well, yeah, wide open for the taking, but Toronto will still dip his toes and find that kill on the way in.
Oh no!
Can kill
No! That's the spike. Okay, this is sketchy. This is just such a mess. But the spike's on the site. They still have Draken in a good position, potentially. The wall goes up. It's going to funnel Oxygen, or at least limit their options. And here we go. First player in is Mitez. Still plenty of potential utility to play with if he could go for it. But no, Safe denies. And Safe still locking it down. Safe is just standing tall for Guild, refusing to lose as Toronto. Nowhere to go. Leo's going to find him, pluck him out of the air, bring him down to earth, and get Guild back almost in this game.
Hey, we talk about confidence and Guild. If that was a round they lost on the back of Draken picking off Bonkar, I'm not sure if Bonkar caught a headshot or something in the fray and he was down to...
His HP just got, like, deleted.
Yeah, because it was off the first shot from the Hunter Fury. Literally the first shot from it, so... But yeah, that thank God they recovered that. And handily done it, but Safe. Putting in a couple of really clutch kills there with all three members of Oxygen stacked up on the stairs. Ready to come through, and Guild have actually brought it back to a one-round deficit. It was after Oxygen went 5-0 up.
The recovery has been exciting to watch, but Zistar still has something to say about the matter. Watching towards short, another shot comes in as well. The guy he's nasty with it, but he will lose out in the end. But Oxygen still have Toronto. He's still got his ult.
Reaping gonna try and catch Leo again. Position was noted, but again, Leo on point today. come down to a 3v3 and Guild feel as if they've seen enough. Their chances over towards A, and it's going to be wide open for them. Gonna have to play this pretty close up. Nothing really to rely on in the post-mine, which is we talked about previously.
Your duty is not over.
That will actually get Toronto back on his feet. Now, Ultimate's still available.
Yeah.
He's only used one knife.
That's actually pretty critical now. I wonder if he's going to drop that rifle up to someone else, maybe upgrade them away from the Spectre. No, okay, just still going to go straight on through. Fair enough. Now the door's still there. This is going to be the surprise. And away we go. Toronto going to lead it, but Bonkar now tries to catch the rest on the swing up, but Toronto finds Draken towards hell and he wants to do some more. Time is starting to dwindle though, and Safe's in trouble. He's going to find one. He has to deny the fuse, and there's no bullets left. And an incredible turnaround again from Oxygen, picking up some of these rounds where they were coming in with a lot less. Roll your mind back to the start of that round. Zisto only really had the Sheriff, right? Like, we had a couple of players very much working with less. Now they come back in on a perfect purchase, and they will surely now maintain into the half at least a lead.
I mean, I was talking about, you know, some of these Turkish and CIS teams running the bread and butter compositions. That was like the most 2020 summer retake ever. It's like, yep, Jet dash in, everybody, we're just going to charge in behind you. Yeah, Jet's going to updraft and take away. Literally, Guild were just backs in a corner, unable to shut them down. Oxygen was so confident on the retake there. As soon as they hit the res, and the time wasn't even close on the defuse either by the time they got to it.
Yeah. Mid pressure again. But look at this, between Turco and Toronto. That combination is still being such a key problem for Guild. Yassin does take down one, but the second's there. And now Glove comes in just on the support as well. This is a huge denial. Spike's now left towards middle. And even if Guild had succeeded with the play through main, the Spike's a mile away at this point. Draken does get Turco, but all right. Find 3 more from this position.
Standing ahead.
One enemy
I just want to
remaining.
avoid the scan, but Zisto will deal with Safe. And responds, but down to 56 HP, 3 bullets left, 2 enemies remaining. To hit something special here. To clutch this round out for Guild. Love actually creeping back across. Nearly actually got off by Draken, but the timing works in his favor instead. It's
Last round.
seeing the way that the Toronto and Turco are playing market here, and Glove as well on the rounds where they have 3 over towards B and market. Just the contingency and the protocols there in place to deal with this mid aggression from Guild. It's so clean. It's so satisfying to watch.
And I don't feel as though they've necessarily been caught out too much by sight hits. Yes, there was a couple that did land from Guild, but their retakes have been okay. They've been kind of, I guess, guessing correctly or working with the information they've been given really well. And coming into this round, you can see the purchase is very poor for Guild. Now this could be huge. The damage coming through is massive. 1 takes down Bonkard, 2 tags up Safe. This is now kind of burning through some of that utility that I'm sure Guild would have potentially liked to have a little later on. And of course gives away the game a touch. Now where do they take themselves though? Do they continue to commit or do they back away?
Leo finds a kill. We'll have his res. You seen just ate that shock dart.
So much chip damage. Yeah, and that ain't gonna work, Safe.
No.
That really ain't gonna work. And oh, the timing, they just played ahead of the timing on that, then he managed to catch out Glove. Now Leo is just going, all right, well look, you've got one player doing this for you, I'll do it for mine. Exactly, Leo can bring back one of his comrades. Ooh, hold on, he went for Safe. Okay, so this is very much game on then. We've got Toronto, Turco, and Zistow trying to play retake on this. Zistow a little ahead, but he is tradable if he needed it. You do have Turco by his side. Trade, not there. Draken's found Zistow, but Toronto comes back in from short. Just gets away with his life. He needs to desperately get this reload. Oh my word, Safe wants this. He knew there was a window of vulnerability, but it's shut on him. And now Turco as well, desperate for this pick, being chipped away at. Safe still finds him.
Beautiful.
Draken holds firm. Guild convert where needed. 5 now on the board.
Switching sides.
Really, really well recovered. And again, Safe identifying that Toronto was low enough there and Turco is elsewhere altogether. It's actually Draken that spots out the second player. So Safe knows that he can semi-comfortably chase his kill. That again, it got a little dicey, I'll be honest, but Draken just keeping Turco at bay long enough in order for him to do it. And really, considering how the first 5 rounds went, is a good outcome, to be honest, for Guild to close this out 7-5.
And let's kind of roll it back. I've talked bigger picture here as well. This is a good start for Oxygen. I was a little worried, but actually, hold on. I'll come back to that, because look at this play from Guild, straight out through A, getting hyper-aggressive. Now, there's 3 players dedicated here, but look at this mid-reaction.
Yeah.
Instantly, Oxygen take that information and go, yeah, no worries. We'll head over towards B. Good luck, Bonker. This is on you. Utility's good, the shot's better. Toronto goes down, but the trade is offered and taken by Turco. Sight is theirs. That can't really be denied. I doubt they'd want to play through that smoke coming in. Yeah, Safe's just going to sit and wait. But great reaction from Oxygen.
Yeah, all 4 members going to commit to sight, though, and I'm fine with that in the pistol to play these crossfires. The question comes is what utility Guild have left. Boombot, 1 satchel, the wall, shock dart, and a recon. So, to see how they approach this, but time ticking away already. They're forced their way on now. Actually, that shock dart doing loads of damage.
Utility is going to work right now, but show is Mitez's ghost, and you're only going to see Leo and Safe kind of down to the final members, and yet Mitez on site just being the immovable turret. 3 huge kills, staying comfortable on 12 HP. And again, I come back to that reaction, yeah. I just come back to that reaction. They get that first bit of contact towards A, and the instantaneous commit straight through, working off the back of that. And they didn't even know that Sova was also over towards A, I think. He was still towards maybe, Heaven. So again, excellent read and a great response.
Well, it'll be something to keep an eye on for I guess, the buy rounds, really. And that's the benefit of playing a well-considered default, right? Is if you take contact on one side of the map, you can immediately capitalize on it. Especially if it's, 2, potentially 3 players that you've seen. Guild actually walk through mid here. Might catch somebody on a retreat, but will escape unharmed for the time being, but did leave B site wide open. Didn't have identified that glove now. We're going to have a couple of members of Guild to deal with in mid, and Leo quickly deals with him with the Sheriff.
Spike down.
Revealing area.
We get tricky to
There they are.
work back in, even with that initial pick. And it's gonna be just pouring the bodies. Yeah, Toronto just gets out the mop. All right, no problem, boys. Keep on going. I gotcha. And yeah, Draken and Leo, the last 2. If they can keep some players maybe locked in, cause some more damage, that's what's on the docket. That's what they fancy. Mitez not going to allow it, and now Draken, you're last alive. But again, I'm as much as, yes, Guild are doing okay, they're finding some small, win conditions in bits and pieces. I have to highlight here, in my mind, Oxygen are actually bringing a very solid game, and they're responding accordingly. They're keeping, good mentalities to approach. Their mid-round calling has been good, and that's something when we look at Guild, we've had a couple of question marks by. We've definitely seen that it's improved drastically, but I wouldn't say it's their best quality yet. Whereas Oxygen are making some great adaptations mid-round. We are going to be going into the bonus round because, of course, they'll stay on these Spectres and slightly weaker weapons and allow the likes of Guild to come in with the rifles. But if they convert this Hypoc, this would be Guild in the bin.
Yeah, it would be double digits. And really, financially, a stranglehold on the game.
Obscuring vision.
The map, at least, sorry. And again, stacked up, and you're seen in Safe show a little bit of aggression over towards A main early on in the round. Now they do back away, and only they knew that Oxygen were creeping back over this direction. See, they're actually going to creep and maybe catch Toronto on the way in, but damage traded whatsoever. Yeah, a little bit of a stalemate, really. Looks as if Oxygen wants to now follow this drone through short.
Oh, but Toronto's late play towards A could be huge. If he gets the timing right here to pinch towards that A main aggression, if they've read this, I am going to be loving life. Yeah, it looks like they have. They've got a great idea of it, but the timing, it's already worked out so well. Safe's gone down. How is this happening? Yassine's now getting paranoid, as he should be.
Yeah.
Can't isolate Toronto. This is a disaster in the making, Hypoc. They've lost 2 key players, and they've just completely lost the sight.
Yeah, nothing really in place to stop that pinch coming through now. Falls to Bonkar, Leo, and Draken, and actually Glove will fall early on. Mita's down to 11 HP, so still doable for Guild, but they've got to move fast and find another kill if they want to make this happen.
It's got to kind of come in fast. Turco can offer himself up, but okay, the kill coming in towards Zistau as well is a problem. Now suddenly Mitas is in trouble. He's on very low HP. If he gets anything, it'd be a miracle. He's not. And now you just got to put all your hope in Toronto. Isolates the first, the dash across, trying to keep him busy. He's sitting.
Oh,
The defuse. Oh, he's got him up it. Toronto hits the fadeaway, pops the ult, comes back up and over. He's doing everything he can for his side.
What a clutch from Toronto. Again, Leo just had no choice but to stick the defuse, turn his back, and hope for the best. Unfortunately, not able to find... I mean, Toronto was so low as well. I think Bonkar just needs to land one more shot. You see them just trading damage back and forth. 7 HP. Just played to perfection here. The timing of the peaks back and forth. Wow, what a round. And that's got to be a tilter. It's got to be. And Oxygen now on double digits. As we said before, see a scrappy purchase coming back in here.
They lost the bonus round. Well, I guess Oxygen won the bonus round, so already your mental's a little in the bin. And then that happens to you? Go next, boys. That's what, you know. I mean, they're obviously going to play it out, but in my head, I'm checked out because Oxygen have brought a level of play that's exceeded my expectations already. Yeah. And maybe there's a reason that teams avoid playing Turkish squads on, you know, maps like these. Maybe there is a damn good reason that maybe Guild should have adhered to. Maybe that veto is going to come back to haunt them eventually. However, for now, the economy for Guild is poor. They are down to sheriffs, guardians. You got a spectre here and there. It ain't pretty. It ain't much to play with. But Oxygen's taking their time, and we've seen this in the past. They can come back to bite people if they walk accidentally in towards a stack, potentially. And there will be almost 4 players leaning towards B here, so there is a bit of danger coming in.
See, Cosmic Divide goes off kind of market and defensive spawn entry here, and still 3 players on the side from Guild, though. This is going to be really... Oh my god, that shock dart just did so much damage into the gravity well.
If only more could have come of Leo there, that could have been big. And you saw the good attempt from Draken, but the numbers simply overwhelming, and 11 rounds going to be looming after this. I don't see a world where Yassine can do much about it. He can try. The HP is low. Maybe the nade could have done well. He's got 1. Okay, hold on. Toronto, 4 HP. Turco, 10. Zistau, 48, but he doesn't know how low maybe some of these players are at this point. Let's see what he can do. Boombot goes out. He's giving it everything he can. No one is giving him a chance. Zistau, quick deny. And yes, there was a slim window, but at this point, he would have had to... I feel as though, if I'm honest, for him to actually convert that, he needed 2 with the paint shot, and I just don't think that
there was a moment I flicked over just then. Mitas, Turco, and Toronto all stood within like 2 meters of each other.
They were close enough, yeah. It was like, hold on.
Just before Yassine pulled that paint shot out, I was like, oh no. And actually as well, Zistu down low enough that it's pretty much one shot with the sheriff as well. So if he'd have got in, like you said, with 2 kills on that first one,
game on.
Yeah. Again, even at that point, when was the last time we saw somebody actually die to a satchel?
Roll it back.
This is tough now. I mean, this is the do or die round for Guild. Again, nothing left here. I mean, down to 700 credits in total with this purchase. And really, I mean, we always talk about if you're going to build to come back, they've got to be clean rounds. And the way Oxygen are playing right now, it's forcing Guild to play trades on these kind of choke points, these areas of the map where Oxygen are able to take contact. Guild are having to stack an extra body there. Once again, Yassine and Safe try and find some sort of control over A main. Toronto and Zisto playing so deep that they can read into it now. Oxygen can play this game. They can sit back and keep Guild guessing. Make them be the ones to send out the feelers.
For now, somewhat of a start. Yes, Astra's a little closer posted up towards middle. Turco having a little glimpse, see if there's anything out of place for now. And it's going to be Bonkos out there. There's Leo.
The counter
Draken
wall in
leaning
this.
over. Yeah, looks like it could be the plate. Depends on the timing here. I'm looking towards it. Yep, there it is. Up and over we go. Leo waits. That's one. The waterfall continues to pour, but Toronto actually outdoes him, surprisingly so. Bonka now ready and prepared on the side, but gets outdone. How are Oxygen winning these fights? They are so sharp right now, and Draken, he's so out of sorts here. You can see the pressure beginning to mount. Yes, the HP is low, but it's not low enough to make this easy. Draken isolates one. He doubles down on the second. That's a third overall, but now Mittez left in the 1v1. The spike ain't too far, he's got it. Now, he's heard Safe's position, but Safe has been so clutch so far, but Mittez got that 3 from this very spot. He turns his back, he's gonna walk into him, and Safe once again holds his nerve, and we'll get the defuse.
I love the little fake down. I'm not sure we didn't fully catch it there, but Safe throws down a cage on lane just to make Mittez consider the possibility he's creeping. Gonna walk through that cage. That's the reason, really. I mean, Mittez had to keep posted on it. He had to keep an eye on that cage. Yeah, we see. But again, I mean, this is the thing. Oxygen's play the trade so well. It's only really Draken popping off and finding a 3-piece from backside there.
I was very surprised.
I gotta say, he had no business finding the third, that's for sure. Get a little bit of split focus from Mittez there elsewhere. I guess just holding down anybody else that wanted to push back onto site. But Lauren, look at the purchase. Again, everybody except Safe fell in that previous round. You're seen down on a Judge. Light armor on Bonka with a Spectre.
It's looking a little shabby, isn't it, around the edges? A little frayed, but Yassine could be in for an absolute belter. 1. Do we get 2? Oh, we do get 2. Do we get a 3? Draken, no way! Oh, the shutdown on short. This is just...
perfect.
Oh.
The perfect round for Guild.
Nasty. Nasty. But it is the perfect round for their economy, especially.
All 5 ultimates online as well. You see, only needed the 1 to get the showstopper there. And I thought for a second if Mittez was a little further ahead of the beat. Bonka got to be careful here, but he's wise to the possibilities this dude's there. Leo quick with the trade. That's the sort of round you need here. If you want to make this comeback a reality, you need to be winning rounds like that. Clean. No casualties taken. Get some ultimates online. Don't overinvest. Now Guild have a couple of the tools they need. Make a really good go of this. Oxygen back down on...
right there.
not pennies. It looks like Turco's going to settle for the Spectre anyway. I don't expect too much more of an investment on their side.
Hold on. How much are they going for here? Are they buying down to like 1.1? Mittez no armor and a Spectre. It's a weird purchase.
Yeah, it's a quick mid here as well, actually.
Okay, burst mid. All right. Yeah, I'm not overly in love with it, but maybe they've got an idea that they want to try and make work at this point. I'd hope it's something specific. Maybe just this mid piece is something they're thinking about, using that Astra utility, try and maybe create a safe cross if they could, or see if anyone wants to lurk through. For now, it's going to at least draw out the owl drone. And Glove uses his to try and control towards short.
Attack there, and okay, it's actually only Toronto in the lobby right now without an ultimate online. He's only one away from the Blade Storm. Cosmic Divide goes up, and again we're going to see this mid-piece through market here. Both members of Guild have to sit on backside here.
Oh, the double stack towards Bohouse. Bonker's already got one, though. There it is. Draken's just quickly flying in to try and get support. Bonker is buying time, and he's done well at it, too. Now just Zistao left alive in a 1v3. Spike not to hand, not planted. Guild now flooding forward. This is just cruelty. As Safe closes it down, puts him out of his misery. And you're starting to get a little bit curious about that scoreboard.
Yeah.
Now, I don't talk about comebacks until we get to traditionally 10, right? I talk about it then because it can be so quickly ripped away and converted out. We're not even on 12 yet. This isn't even map point. This isn't even there. This is 11 rounds still. If Oxygen's money gets ripped away as it has been, you gonna do it to us, Guild? We
Rise and bring glory.
we playing those games today?
Could be, I mean, because again, Guild Magic, you're seeing actually going to pop the showstopper off the rip here. It's going to, again, look at all this information they're going to gather. catches the trap wire in A main, but it's a 5-man lean towards B main for Oxygen. I think they're going to counter wall once again.
Yep. It's the burst. Is Astra peeking? No, okay. Astra's sitting a little further back, but Bonka does find one. He finds 2. He wants more. He doesn't get more. The double for Draken! It's huge! It's keeping this in check for Guild. Out of nowhere, they have come alive. And suddenly, Oxygen look a little short of breath here. Already down to just Mittez. This round, put it aside, put it away, put it in the back of your minds. Leo doesn't even want to see him. We're on 9. We're 1 away from starting to call this a comeback because Guild have woken up.
They have indeed, and on the back of, yes, they're not finding any value from these A main pushes, but right there is all the information that Guild need. Draken can sit deep in spawn here. You can see he's in a good enough angle to watch market and be in position for this Hunter's Fury here. Enough damage done on the way into Turco Resisto that it only takes 1 hit. And right there, I mean, for the players on site, they just need to find 1 kill, right? It slow things down, make them stop on lane to, you know, clear some more angles that will maximize how much impact Draken can find with that Hunter's Fury. And finding the 2 kills there, it's done. Round's over.
Yeah. This should be a tactical timeout, I would assume, for Oxygen, if that just came in. I'm not sure. But probably the right time to do it, because you're starting to get a little nervous about it. And then money, well, they can fashion a buy now, but I don't know how they're going to be sitting after this one.
Well, on the flip side of what we were talking about earlier, once Guild get rolling, man, this is where, you know, your scene might start feeling a little fruity. They might try swinging mid in the early rounds.
Yep. Let's see. Oxygen now. Let's see what they do with this. They have 2 towards A main. Safe scoop put in
Deep cam
charge of
setup,
that.
actually.
Very deep cam setup for this, so it may actually almost be a misinformation, but both sides of the map now trying to get some information building, and they've received at least confirmation there is a player towards B. Pop of the ult from Glove, and you can see Yassine trying to do the dance.
Oh, he got...
Gets caught.
Oh, no. I think he second-guessed himself. And unfortunately strafed back into the last one. I mean, they have the res, but Leo's got to come all the way from A side. You can see actually Bonkar and Leo swapping over now. Safe got it all to do to stop this push from coming through.
All right, res comes in, but you're right, it is going to be down to the man who's been the absolute rock of this side. Safe to hold this one. Jet already comes in. Does he try and stop it? No, he waits. Just out to create that safe path. And bye-bye. Say goodnight, Safe. Glove wants in. He's having none of that. Spike now planted as well. We do have 4 players very close by. The call was made earlier. Late lurk through middle as well. We'll touch in on that if it becomes relevant. For now, it's not, because Zistow is stopping this before it starts. This retake's gone nowhere. Back to the drawing board, boys. This is going to be map point. Now going to be coming in for Oxygen.
One down.
Okay.
No, Leo. I've already said no, so don't. And there was that lurk coming in from Mittez that we talked about earlier. So don't be doing that. 12 rounds now for Oxygen.
And it's all on the back of just a tiny mistake. I don't even want to say mistake. I don't even want to call that a mistake from Yassine, but I mean, Hunter's Fury is available. The drone's coming in. The other, you know, Draken even spots the owl drone with his. Don't even face the owl drone. Like, don't even give Glove the opportunity to find that pick, because like I said, it only comes down to the first tag comes through and he just kind of second guesses himself and steps back into the third. So just that one small mistake over on B site, it brings Leo over. He's got a res. Right then, they know that they have a fantastic opportunity to isolate Safe on A, and Oxygen punish them for it.
These are, again, I can't discredit Oxygen's call sometimes. Their mid-round calling and decision-making is good. It's very reactive, but it's good. Yassine. Oh, you are so lucky to be alive. Have you ever seen a guillotine miss with someone's head's just waiting in the cradle? That's just what happened. I don't know how he just got away with that, but he will live, and Yassine is playing dangerous games here.
Safe actually on, I didn't even spot that. The operator purchase all the way playing deep on market. We're back at spawn actually. Zisto gonna find Yassine
Leo
getting a little overzealous with that peak.
Leo's stuck. He has to commit one way or another. It looks like Short will be where he is. He's got Draken coming in to try and control main. But now they're holding back to hit. Draken whiffs it!
Oh,
no way, and Leo's gone down. This looks like it could be done, and this is why we don't call it until double digits. Safe and Bonka called upon to save the day. One's all that Safe could do, and now Bonka sitting pretty on HP, got all the armor, all that he could want, but he has 5 players against him. And Oxygen on the verge of closing this out after almost slipping. Just about pull this one back as Bonka can do what he can, but he can't even see the sight, Hypoc.
No, this dude will land the headshot, sealing Guild's fate on Ascent here. 13-9. Oxygen able to, I guess, stop Guild in their tracks, because that's the best way to describe that comeback. Guild were really building momentum there. I was worried at one point, but again, just that one round was a slight mistake, and the round just comes apart of the scene for them, and that ultimately seals Guild's fate.
This is the margin of error that people are operating under. And this isn't just a look towards Guild having a slip up here or there. I mean, you know, it is what it is. They were building back. But it is that knock-on effect. As we said, those ripples. Yeah. If one player gives an opportunity, we said at the very start of the show, you give a chance to a team like Oxygen, they will smother you. They will take every piece of air away from the room. They will literally absolutely overwhelm you, which is what happened. And again, I want to give credit to Guild for fighting back into that. They'll probably kind of put their confidence back in the right place here, Hypoc, because otherwise that could have been, you know, a bit of a blow to the gut there for them.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the big question is coming to this. Ascent is a terrifying map to play any Turkish team, let alone Oxygen with the way they've played previously here. But that's definitely not a blowout. It's not a throwaway map for Guild. I don't think really they can kick themselves too hard over that, because they played a good map. Oxygen, honestly, just fundamentally played better. The mid-round calling, the audibles, the way they were able to control Guild's rotations was fantastic.
Well, that'll be it for map 1. Of course, after this, there will be Split, which will be Guild's choice coming up, so don't go too far away. We'll be jumping into a break now, but when we're back, we'll be joined by Yinsu to talk you through everything we just saw.